it's more of the musicians involved than anything, and that I think we have sort of a common desire. And I think what we look for is freedom with responsibility.
Welcome back to Custom Action Figures 101. I'm Rob Panick. This week we're going to learn how to put together a G.I. Joe figure. On an earlier tutorial, I showed you how to disassemble a modern G.I. Joe figure. This week we're going to learn how to put that guy back together after you've got him painted and ready to go. The one I'm building today, I'm going to be using a method I showed in one of my earlier tutorials. I'm going to actually be using a Star Wars lower leg. So the knee joints will actually be glued into place on this guy, glued in onto the side of the actual lower leg. But also, just for comparison, I'm going to show you how to assemble a lower leg with a pin joint as well. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the tutorial. Now the first part of the figure that I'm going to assemble is going to be to add the upper legs to the lower part of the torso. To do this, you're going to take the halves of the lower leg that have the little indentation with a cutout. Those are going to slide into place over the T-pin, the T-peg pins. Then from there, you're going to take your knee joint, pop it onto the pin, take the other half of your upper leg, pop it in place. Modern G.I. Joes as well as vintage G.I. Joes use a little screw to hold the thigh part, upper leg thigh parts together. I've actually found a substitute. These screws can get lost or can rust out and have to be drilled out. A good substitute is a little laptop screw. You can get these guys on Amazon for about $1 for a 20 pack. That's actually cheaper than what you can buy the G.I. Joe screws for, and they work just as well. And because it's a black colored screw, it's not as visible as the silver screw. So that's another reason I like these guys. You just want to get it in there, get it started. Take your little precision screwdriver, and screw those guys in. Once you've got that one in, you're going to do the same thing with the other side. Now, if you'll notice, with the knee joint, the upper and lower part of the knee can be determined a lot of times by the little tab. The lower leg will usually have the little tab on the downside, on the bottom. So put it with the tab side down. And these I actually had to drill out just a little bit to fit, and to fit on my lower leg joints. Just find a drill bit the same size as what your pin that you're going to need it to go on, and drill it out. Just work really slow, take your time, and you can get a good fit. Screw the other side in the same way. Put our screw in. Tighten it down until the gap closes up in the thigh. Now we have got our upper thighs attached to the lower torso. Now we're going to attach the lower legs. As I said before, I'm using a set of Star Wars protocol droid lower legs. for this figure. So what I've done is I've sliced down one side, taking the ball joint pin out, and I've drilled the knee joint hole so that it's going to fit over the peg on the inside of this lower leg. Just spread it apart so you can get it inside. And then work the pin, the peg on the inside of the joint. Work it around until it fits flush against one side on the peg. Now, with these, let's go ahead and get the other one on before we get through that. Same thing with the other side. Just gonna work it in. Got them in place there. Now, with these, you're going to want to use a good quality cyanoacrylate glue. This is a glue from Bob Smith Industries. It's a gap filling medium 5 to 15 second Instacure glue. A good super glue, professional grade, will work. Loctite makes a good glue. I just really love the Bob Smith Industries glue. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be doing a review on this stuff coming up, so keep a lookout for that. Anyway, what I've done is cut myself a little piece of cardboard to act as like a pallet. Gonna put a little small drop of my glue on the cardboard, and these are the little brushes that from the Flexifile review that I did. The little multi-purpose brushes. What I'm going to do, and you can also use a toothpick. Toothpick will work well. Going to go in and we're going to find, if you'll see inside, the white part right here is what I'm wanting to glue. So I'm going to get a little dab of my glue. And I'll put it on the white part, which is the face of the pin, and then I'm going to squeeze it together. As I squeeze it, I'm going to work the knee joint back and forth a bit. That's going to keep the actual knee from gluing, and it'll still let the one side of the lower leg glue to the other side. And this is a 5 to 15 second glue, so it's pretty fast curing and setting. It's ready to go. Same thing on the other side. I want to open it up so that we see the white part on the face. A little drop of our glue. Put it in there. Squeeze it. And work it back and forth. Squeeze it and work it back and forth for approximately 15 seconds or so to give the glue time to set. And now we have our legs attached to the lower part of our torso. Next, I'm going to go ahead and pop in my feet. For this, I'm going to be using my dryer rig that I've made up. I like to bend the legs with the feet holes poking up. Set it inside the dryer rig, and then we're going to turn it on and let it sit for about 30 seconds. Low heat. And all we're wanting to do is just soften up this plastic so that our feet will pop nicely in. Make sure we've got the right foot going on to the right leg, left foot going on to the left leg. Now, have our feet popped on, and we're ready to move on to the next stage. Now, as I said earlier, I also want to show you how to put together a standard pin joint. All you're going to do is pop the lower leg onto the knee, take your little pin, insert into the large side, get it so that you can see the base of the pin showing through the small side hole. We're going to put that in our dryer rig. Heat it up for about 30 seconds, the same as we did with our feet. That's generally all it takes for it to soften up and get to the point we need it to be to work with. Once it's soft, then you can just push it right into place. Too easy, super simple. Okay, now we're going to assemble the upper torso. Again, we're going to be using our cyanoacrylate glue. Gonna freshen up my little puddle here, get another nice little fresh drop. Now, the pin in the top part of your lower torso, you've got a little bushing. Make sure you got your bushing popped on. That's going to keep everything nice and tight inside of the torso. Pop the back of the torso onto the lower torso half. Then your arms, make sure you've got the correct right arm and left arm. They're going to slide into the grooves on each side. The flat part of the pin is going to fit right into place. Then we're going to take a little bit of our CA glue, get on a brush or on a toothpick, whatever you're using. Paint a little bit onto the separate corners of the torso. If you have pins that didn't get damaged when you were separating your torso half, put some glue on your pins. And once you've got the glue on the back half, front half of your torso on, make sure everything is lined up, popped into place, and give it a good squeeze. Squeeze it and hold it for whatever the suggested time for your setting time for your glue is. And this is 5 to 15 second glue. I'm actually going to hold it for about 20 to 25 seconds. I'm going to give it a few extra seconds just to make sure it's set, because I don't want it to separate. I want the glue to be set and solid and hold this thing into place, and I don't want it to separate. I do want to make sure that my shoulder sockets are freed up and not moving. Now, the upper torso glued into place. Next we're going to insert the lower arms. We're going to go back to our heat rig again. Poke our upper arms up so that the heat is directed into the sockets. Turn it on. Give it 20-30 seconds worth of heat. That should be good. Take our lower arm and insert it into the socket for the upper arms. Insert the ball into the socket. Now, we're going to take our hands, and the hands should pop in fairly easy without any heat. Pop the hands in. Last, going to pop our head on. And there you have it. Really simple. A lot easier to put it back together than it is to take it apart. Just one of those things, like with everything, all of my tutorials, the more you practice it, the better you're going to get at it. After a while, you may struggle the first couple of times. After you've done it a few times, I mean, they go together like it's nothing. It becomes second nature. Thanks again for watching, tuning in to Custom Action Figures 101. Be sure to give the video some love, just like I ask you every week. Like it, share it, let all your friends on your social networks know about it. Check us out on our forum at SERPENTOR'S.info. You can catch us our news site, SERPENTOR'S.com. Go on there, look for Custom Action Figures 101 in the archives. Be sure to check out my page, galacticplastics.net, and Galactic Plastics and Serpentor's Lair are both on Facebook and Twitter. Just look for us, like us, follow us, and check out my group on Facebook, Custom Action Figures Tips, Tricks, and Trade. We're coming up on 2,000 members of our group. It's one of the biggest and best custom action figure groups on Facebook. Thanks again for watching, folks, and may the force be with you.